Well, David, very exciting to have all these wonderful items on display. What's your reaction to seeing it all here in Harrison for the first time?
I think it's absolutely fantastic. I mean, this has been in the making for a long, long time. I know this was talked about back in when the stadium was built in '97. I know Lionel Pickering was very keen on having a sort of a museum. I know over the years we've sort of done pop-up displays around the city and certainly here at Pride Park, but you know, to have things on display it's fantastic for the supporters. You know, it's a chance for people like myself to reminisce, but for the younger generation, you know, to realise that we've won league titles and FA Cups and you know, and things like that. So yeah, it's a very rich history.
Yeah, so the memorabilia exhibit behind me is sort of the final part of Harrison's Hub. So we brought Harrison's Hub back to life a couple of years ago now, when it hadn't been reopened after COVID, wasn't a coffee shop anymore, so it became a community venue. And then since then we've sort of added a bit at a time until we are where we're at today.
Was this always sort of part of the plan to have this exhibit space open?
For the last good year or so, yeah. I think there'd always been a desire, especially after David came in as owner and his own passions, to get something in the ground that allowed people to come and see more about the history. And then given that this has been set up as a community hub, predominantly used by the Trust in the week for their sessions, but then now used on a match day to invite families and fans in, it felt like the ideal place.
And the plan is that this will be freshened up, so when you can come again and see something different?
Yeah, that's definitely the plan. So we've got obviously 74th, 75th, 50th anniversary coming up next year, so that's our sort of next target. It'll be trying to style something around that. And then, like I say, just a place to come and see bits of history that you might not have seen before.
What was the process of choosing what was going to go in here for the first look?
For this opening launch, it was more of a timeline, a bit of everything over the 140 years. So it was just a case of trying to pick out 30 items that mean something, have a story perhaps to them, and getting those together, getting them in the cabinets, which Megan and Katie have done quite superbly.
What are your sort of favourite, or I don't know, most notable pieces?
I think the doll is the really oddity in here. Obviously, they were given to the players as part of the Czech tour in 1946, straight after the cup final out to Czechoslovakia. And so they're given a player, and the fact that it has remained intact and was given to a player who became our manager, Tim Ward, is amazing. It's a bit scary though, isn't it? But
how has it been for you to have an owner, a guardian of the club, who is sort of so interested and so invested in the history of the club as well?
It's fantastic and it's important. So now David's here, he's shown an interest, he's got his own collection. He owns the biggest part of the collection, he owns the club, so it's just nice to be able to bring it back and share it with him and with everybody else. I think the most interesting thing for me personally is the shirt collection that we put together from 1884 through to 1906, which is when we were based up at the racecourse ground when the football club first started. And you've probably seen them, people can see them when they come in. They're over there, the 6 shirts. It's going to change. The history is built up over 140 years, so there's no point in cramming it all together in one display. There's stuff from every generation, and over the next 140 years, we can put it all out and add to it. And once again, hand it down to the next generation, and for people to keep ownership of it. And now it's back at the club where it belongs and where it started.
Looking at the items we've got here, I mean the novelty, some of the stuff going back through the years is incredible. The galleon, the Royal Crown Derby plate from the cup final, it's incredible to see, isn't it? Just the array of items that are there.
Yeah. I mean, I was just looking at the burst ball there. I thought it was actually from the 1946 cup final, but it's from the Midland cup final. But yeah, it's there's stuff there like from the, even the centenary season, the shirts, which I remember. I mean, I bought those shirts, I wore them. I'm sure they don't fit me now, but yeah, it's great. It's great to see.